Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered. In the last episode, we continue to run away from the imminent danger that we are sort of in. Archer has been left behind and supposedly died. From the implied messages, he's probably dead, but I don't believe it, and I will not believe it. I don't think that man is dead. But here we are in this abandoned, ruined house or structure or whatever this place is. And of course, there's a room here on the second floor that is intact enough, and it has a bed. So the idea is to save Saber. Saber is about to disappear. She's about to die because of how much energy she used to get rid of Ryder. She used her noble phantasm, which was wonderful, by the way. That was a crazy fight. That aside, we gotta save her. The way that Rin suggested is basically moving all of the magic circuits within Shirou over to her, which means goodbye any future of being a mage for Shirou. But what else are we going to do? It's try this or die. So that's kind of where we left off. We'll see if things worked out here. I feel sunlight on my eyelids and slowly open them. Also, by the way, if you guys didn't watch the previous episode, I am definitely still in a very, very sketchy yet temporary setup. But I swear to you all, I'm recording this off of my Steam Deck with a whole lot of things plugged into it. And somehow it's working. It's working well enough. And while this is very inconvenient to record, move the files over to a different system to edit, and then upload, well, whatever. I still want to do this. I still want to, make these videos for you guys. So the journey continues. It's just that this is all I can record. This is the only game I have readily available to record. Dazed and confused, I check over my own body. My arms and legs are fine. I don't see any wounds. Maybe the pain faded the moment I was able to endure it. My physical wounds and even the mental scars seem to have been healed.
Shirou.
I hear a weak voice from under me. Oh yeah, that's right, we're on top of her. And the feeling of her soft skin immediately makes me realize who's speaking and the position we're in. Saber is lying on the bed with her blouse in disarray, while Tosaka is sleeping, cradling her knees to her chest. Tosaka may be fine, but Saber's been under me like this the whole time.
Ohayo, Saber. Hai. Ohayo gozaimasu, Shirou.
Oh yeah, it is morning. We exchange awkward pleasantries. Saber slowly gets up and rearranges her blouse. Crap, we're so embarrassed we can't look at each other in the eye.
もう切られるようになったんだ、セイバー。はい。魔力の供給を受けられるようになりましたので。
She seems to be back to her normal self. When I carried her here last night, she was so weak it seemed like she might disappear at any moment. But that weakness is gone now.
そうか。よかった。成功したんだ。魔術回廊の移植は。はい。ですから服を着ていただけませんか、シロ。その格好のままだと私もなぜか話しづらい。
He only took off his shirt. I looked down at myself.
そうか、そうだよな。そうだった。
Unless more of his clothes somehow came off. I hastily reached for my neatly folded shirt. Yeah, it was just his shirt. That was nice of Tosaka to fold it up like that. Wait, no, I did that. Why did I fold it so tight? Yeah, what a trip that was. I vividly recall last night's ritual. I connected with Saber, and Tosaka transplanted my magic circuits deep within Saber. Saber looks like she's back to normal, but what happened to me? Tosaka warned that my body and mind not be able to handle the loss of magic circuits, but I don't feel much damage, nor any huge sense of loss. I was a little scared, but I checked on my magic circuits myself. The idea of seeing for myself just how much I've lost is terrifying, but we're heading into battle against Berserker. I need to understand my own condition. I don't know how to explain it. The overall function of my magic circuits feels sluggish, but there doesn't seem to be any obvious damage. I was chewed to pieces, but my magic circuits are still intact. It looks like I'll still be able to do my strengthening magecraft.
そうか。これって。
So did we make a copy of what we had? I assume the magic circuits I rarely use were the ones Tosaka took, or that. I only activate about 1 to 4 circuits when I do strengthening, since I can't do large-scale magecraft anyway, and I've never fully activated all of my circuits. So she transplanted the circuits I don't use to Saber.
シロ。
I close my eyes to assess my situation. It seems this won't affect my strengthening magecraft, but this sluggishness, like I'm wading through water, is because my capacity for magecraft has decreased. In exchange, though, I feel like I'm connected to something important deep inside myself. I can't tell exactly where it's coming from, but there's a faint line that connects me and Saber. I've gained something truly important in exchange for my lost circuits.
申し訳ありません、シロ。
Saber speaks up from somewhere behind me.
シロの回路を得る際に必要最小限に留めるよう努力はしました。ですが、その最低限の量ですら人から得るには多すぎた。もしやシロに消せない傷跡を残してしまったかと思うと、
You're
謝
all
罪の
good.
言葉も見当たりません。
You're fine.
これは私の不覚です。私が核も力足らずでなければ、シロには。
そんなことはない。セイバーは謝らなくていいんだ。そもそもの原因は俺が魔力の供給をできないでいてセイバーに迷惑をかけていたからだろ。でもそれもこれで解決した。これからはちゃんと魔力の供給ができる。ああ、これで本当に胸を張ってセイバーのマスターだって口にできる。
ですがシロ、
俺の魔術回路のことは気にしなくていいよ。どうせ使わないものみたいだし、むしろない方がスッキリする。
Man, you're just saying that. Saber's expression remains clouded. Crap, I never know what to say at times like this. Saber's recovered, and I survived even after the loss of some of my magic circuits. Saber's magic circuits, the dream of light and wind in Saber in her youth, and on top of that, we spent the night touching skin to skin. Calm down, calm down. That was a ritual for our survival. I need to calm my mind. If I don't focus, I could mess up during battle. Wakey wakey. The sleepy rhythm of Tosaka's breathing halts and she grunts. Looks like Tosaka's awake too.
おはようございます、リン。
よう、トサカ。おはよう。
I see Tosaka's hair shift and her head tilts up. She is not a morning person at all, and doesn't look her usual sharp self at all.
サンキュー、トサカ。ちゃんと成功したぞ。
はい。私の魔力の補充はできました。ですがその代わりシロに。
You don't have to make it so depressing.
いや、亡くなったのは3割ぐらいだと思うから大丈夫。これくらいならなんとか。
3割ですか。なんとか最小にとどめたというのに、それでも3割とは。我がことながら、なんと強欲な。
強欲か。そうだな。腹ペコだったにしても、もう少し行儀よくしてほしかったな。
Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't need to be so. I don't even know how I want to describe that. We're joking. We're trying to lighten the mood. Tosaka joining us helps dispel the awkwardness between Saber and me. Now we're back to normal.
そう、じゃあいいわね。
Tosaka yawns and gets to her feet. It's almost time for the battle. Somewhere in that forest, Berserker and Ilyasvale await. If we don't defeat that hurricane of death, everything we did last night was for nothing. The connection that was created between me and Saber, deep in our hearts. To protect what we created, we'll have to defeat the most powerful enemy of all. I mean, strength-wise, yes. An interlude? Ooh. We're still in Chapter 11. This has been a long one. Or at least it's felt like it. Probably because of my mini hiatus. Their battle comes to an end. The two fought fiercely, and it ended with the disappearance of the Red Knight. Now a shadow of its former glory, the reception room is in ruins. Yeah, it doesn't look all that great. The floors are cracked and broken. Many of its walls have been knocked down. The stairs have collapsed and broken marble is scattered across the floor. There is hardly a trace of the reception room's original form. Some might even say time itself has been stolen from this space. After such vast destruction, the scene bears no resemblance to what it was just 2 hours ago. A sculpture well suited to such destruction stands in the middle of it all. Standing over 2 meters tall, it bears the crude likeness of a man, as if roughly hacked out of stone. It hardly bears mentioning. This is Ilyasvale's servant Berserker. The giant doesn't move. Its entire body is splattered with red, with several holes torn through it. Not a single inch of the giant's body isn't wounded. 1, both legs appear on the verge of collapse. 2, a massive gash on the neck. 3, arms practically hanging off the elbows. 4, something has pierced it from shoulder to groin. 5, blood gushes from its chest. 6, its belly is torn open. Berserker is not moving. He will. It's clearly a corpse. The battle itself lasted less than an hour. The result? Unexpected. Berserker's master is beside herself. She should be picking off what remained of her prey, but instead she just stands there, staring at the devastation. Her voice is a low mumble now. The battle came as a humiliation to her. Her servant is the most powerful. Among all heroic spirits, maybe 1 or 2 could compete with Heracles, almost said the wrong variation, the most renowned hero of all time. And yet, some unknown archer defeated him. The Red Knight fought on equal ground with Berserker, and in the end even killed Berserker, which nobody else had even thought possible. So he is dead. He isn't just, barely alive. He's dead. So what happened? What happened to Archer? And for that, he can never be forgiven. To Ilya, it is as if she has just been stabbed in the heart by a passing insect. She prided herself on being the strongest master. For her to lose to the sort she should have so casually trampled must be unthinkable. And the statue doesn't answer. It has neither the time nor the need to do so. Berserker stands still, focusing on healing himself. Okay, well, I guess he is alive. So Archer is dead. Even for him, this was an unusual battle. His noble phantasm nullifies any attack. So long as the attack is not of the highest possible class, it won't so much as scratch him. As such, he rarely sustains any wound. In his own time, none could harm him after he attained greatness. But here, now, he's been hurt 6 times. Archer delivered 6 fatal blows. Each of his attacks was of a different sort. That is because even the strongest attacks won't work twice on Berserker. Strange as this battle was, the most truly bizarre part was, if Archer was a hero with so many different abilities, his identity should have been obvious. But even after his body was pulverized, Archer's identity remained a mystery. Okay, so Archer is dead. What was really surprising was how he carried himself in a way that seemed contradictory as a servant. A faint light flickers in the pupils of Berserker's eyes. Were Berserker a normal, rational servant, he would probably feel pretty bad about how this battle went. Whatever his identity might have been, Archer was a rare and formidable adversary. If only Berserker's sanity hadn't been taken from him, he would have fought to his heart's content and maybe even enjoyed himself. Ilya's voice echoes in the shattered hall. Whatever tiny embers of rationality might have been returning to him are immediately snuffed out by her voice. He's just Berserker now. His role is to overwhelm and annihilate his master's enemies. Berserker doesn't need to answer. So long as the wound doesn't kill him, he'll heal in moments. But to completely recover from this wound would take as much as 3 days, so we could actually get the jump on him.
そんなに待てない。もういいわ。今すぐあいつらを殺しに行くわよ。
The giant silently objects. It's almost instinctive. At least when it comes to a fight, Berserker has instincts similar to Saber's. He can certainly destroy his enemy easily enough, but if Saber has recovered enough that she can use her noble phantasm, that will be a different story. Berserker will not fall to a mere sacred sword, but there is always the small chance of something going wrong. His instincts tell him that he should be completely prepared before facing this servant.
何よ。5つもあれば十分じゃない。あんな奴ら、ゴッドハンドなんかなくたって敵じゃないもの。
God hand, huh?
それとも何？ここまで私たちをバカにした奴らを見逃してやるっていうの？バーサーカー。
I can't remember. Is that actually what he used on them before in our first confrontation with him?
そうでしょ。誰一人として私の森からは逃がさないわ。うん。リンとセーバーはバーサーカーにあげるね。殺すなりもてあそぶなり好きにしていいわ。
And Shirou? Emiya hops down from the stairs. She walks through the rubble to the exit without a moment's concern for Berserker, bloodied as he is. But suddenly, she stops as if remembering something.
さあ、狩りを始めましょう、バーサーカー。だけど、セイバーのマスターは簡単に殺しちゃダメだよ。シローには一番ひどい死に方をさせてあげるんだから。
Why? What is her deal with him, honestly? Emiya heads out of the castle, giggling happily. And the sun is about to rise. Emiya knows the forest like the back of her hand. She won't have any trouble finding her prey, even if they try to hide. Her targets have only minutes to live. Yeah, right, uh-huh. Well, actually, my big question is, what part of the day is it? It's morning of the next day, no? Because we got kidnapped, and then it, like, almost a day went by, so it was, like, the middle of the night. But I guess it could have already been the next day, like, early morning. And I don't know why, but I am forced out of the ruins. Tosuka kicks me out, saying that girls have to make some adjustments and changing and stuff like that.
くそ、何言ってんだ。男だっていろいろある。
We do? I lean against the wall as I grumble. I guess I sound like a sore loser, and that's exactly it. I remember, and then I try to shake off my desires. I can't think about that right now. If I keep lingering on my memories with Saber, I'm a dead man. More than anything, it would be rude to Saber. I made contact with Saber to Saber. I shouldn't have any other feelings for Saber. Yeah, because again, she isn't human whatsoever. What a crock. It's such a pathetic excuse, even I don't believe it. I can't forget what happened with Saber. But I need to for now. Honestly, I don't have time to worry about that kind of stuff. Our concern right now is how to fight Berserker.
そうだ。自分にできることをやらないと。あいつだって最後にそう言ってたじゃないか。
I think back to Archer, and Archer's back spoke to us. I never warmed up to him, but every word he said stuck with me. I did want to see more of their dynamic because there was obviously a bit of a disconnection between the two. They were two completely different individuals, but the way that they did speak to one another, it's as if it was like him pushing him on, you know, in a very rough way. I stare at a tree branch. There's only so much I can do. I may not be much help, but I'm going to do whatever I can as best as I can. For starters, I snap off a nearby tree branch. Then I try to find other straight branches.
Shirou, 終わったから入ってきて。
Tosuka's voice reaches me in my search. I head back to the ruins carrying the branches I collected. Well, the only other problem is whether I can act anything approaching normal around Saber after looking into her heart, however briefly. You'll be okay. It's all in your head, honestly.
こちらです、シロ。リンから話があるそうです。
I guess I was worrying over nothing. Saber is her usual self. Unlike me, immature as I am, she's probably just approaching this pragmatically.
ああ、今行く。
Damn, I'm not gonna let this get me down. I am so damn dumb, being the only one blushing over this, so I'm gonna do my best to keep my composure.
来たわね。それじゃあ作戦会議を始めるけど、会議って言っても口論し合う暇はないわ。バーサーカーを倒す方法も限られているし、とりあえず私の話を聞いてもらえる？
Saber and I nod.
作戦としては単純よ。まともな方法じゃバーサーカーとは勝負にならない。勝つためには奇襲。仕掛けたのなら反撃させずに一撃で首を落とすのが絶対条件だと思う。同感です。バーサーカーと打ち合ったところであれには致命傷を与えられません。
打ち合いの外からって、バーサーカーが俺たちに気づく前に先回りして襲うってことか。そりゃあいつと正面から戦うのは無謀だけど、そっちの方はもっと無謀だ。
ええ、バーサーカーに気づかれずに近寄るなんて都合のいい作戦はやらないわよ。あっちにはイリアスフィールがいるんだもの。少なくともセイバーとシローの気配は簡単に感知されるわ。
Yeah, let's also not
私は気配
underestimate
を
her.
隠せるから大丈夫だけど。
Ilya has something up her sleeve, and it's probably not just one thing. She probably has a lot of tricks up her sleeve that we will not be able to anticipate. The way that she was able to just, snap her fingers, look into Shiro's eyes, and make him go to sleep for 18 hours, that's highly concerning. I don't understand the logic, but I get the sense Ilya can detect me and Saber. And if Tosaka's the only one who can conceal herself...
まさか奇襲をするのは遠坂だって言うんじゃないだろうな。
当然でしょ。一番に狙われてるのはシローなんだし、この中で一番動きやすいのは私だもの。隙を
後ろからバッサリって、バーサーカーがそんな甘いわけないだろ。
そりゃそうよ。だからセイバーに隙を作ってもらうの。セイバー、体はどのくらい回復した？通常戦闘ならば問題はありません。ですが、宝具の使用は避けるべきです。
Well, damn. That would have been an easy way out, huh?
今の魔力では、おそらく使った瞬間に体を維持できなくなる。たとえ使ったとしても純度は落ちていますから、バーサーカーを倒せるとは思えません。ええ、それで十分よ。セイバーにはバーサーカーと打ち合ってもらうわ。もちろんシロも一緒で、私は隠れて様子を見る。イリアスフィールから見れば私はおまけみたいなものだし、いなければ二人を見捨てて逃げたとか思うんじゃないかしら。はあ、それはまあ可能性はなくはありませんが。可能性が低いならあげて。シローはイリアスフィールと仲がいいみたいだし、うまく話せば騙せるんじゃない？
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work anymore. It may have worked, before today, but by trying to leave, by telling her no, that we're not gonna stay with her. Yeah, she's not happy with us. She wants us dead, dead, dead. I did not read whatever that line was.
遠坂は逃げたって言えば、イリアはまず信じるよ。
だとしても問題はあります。私がバーサーカーと対峙するのはいい。ですが、シローに同じことはさせられません。
I mean, we did
シロ
one
ーでは
time.
バーサーカーの一撃に耐えられない。誰もシローに殴り合えなんて言ってないわ。シローはセイバーから離れて後方支援。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを押し切るのは難しいから、危なくなったら助けてあげて。バカな。シローはリンのように魔術に長けてはいない。援護と言っても何を。それはシローが考えて。もっともバーサーカー相手だとマスターが介入する余裕なんてないわ。それでも一人だって遊ばせる余裕はないの。シローが殺されればセイバーもおしまいっていうのは分かってるけど、ここはそうしてもらうわ。初めから賭け事みたいな戦いなんだから。
Yeah, really, this whole idea of trying to fight back has been a huge gamble from the start. Because, I mean, we all agreed, right? In the last episode, there's no way out of here. We have to fight Berserker first in order to get a 100% successful escape rate. But now that we're at this stage, it's a whole nother step of the gamble. We were able to successfully get Saber back on her feet. Now, it's to see if things actually will work out further. We have to try because death was imminent, regardless. Saber makes a face and falls silent. Since Tosuka's gone quiet too, she must understand how reckless her proposal is. I can't blame them for being worried. The night I met Saber, the night Berserker attacked, the only thing I managed to use to defend her was my own body. And there's a strong possibility that we're headed toward a repeat of what happened that night. So while it may be best for me to distance myself from the battlefield, I'm not gonna do so unless they force me to.
分かってる。遠くからの援護は何とかしよう。
Was it really that much of a surprise?
離れたところからセイバーを援護すればいいんだろ。それなら何とかなると思う。
I grabbed the tree branches I gathered earlier as I say that. And they're just the right length and exactly the right kind of flexibility. And this is the first time I've done this kind of strengthening, but I don't think I'm wrong in principle here. Basically, I just need to layer my strengthening until it turns into something substantial. Besides, he had something like this, so I can use it as reference. On top of that, magical energy has been flowing through my body for a while now. All I have to do is repeat my usual process. I analyze its basic structure and change it. I analyze the material's composition and reinforce it. Oh, there we go. Starting from the branch, my result should be this bow. But something's missing. I need to think of this from the standpoint of creation. If I want to make something as close as possible to the real thing, I need to envision everything I can about it, down to the smallest detail. I opened my eyes. The warped branch was the right shape, but something wasn't... God damn. I mean, that looks pretty cool. We did that from a tree branch? It's ugly, distorted. And yet I can tell that it will work fine as a bow. Now I just have to create an arrow following the same concept.
Shirou, 今の。
ああ、シンジとの一件でなんとなくコツが分かった。遠坂も言ってただろ。力みすぎるなって。
そう。まあ、手段ができたのはいいことだし、今はいいわ。話を戻すけど。とにかく、二人にはバーサーカーと戦ってもらう。私はあらかじめ木に登って上から様子を観察してるから。で、セイバーがなんとかバーサーカーに隙を作ったら、死角である頭上からとっておきの宝石を使い切ってバーサーカーを串刺しにする。作戦としてはそれだけの単純なものだけど。
Yeah, we don't want our plan to be too simple, though. Tosuka turns her attention to us, checking whether we have any questions.
宝石というのは輪の魔術ですか？だとしても生半可な魔術ではバーサーカーの体には届きません。彼を傷つけるには最大純度の攻撃でなければならないのですから。分かってる。要するに A 判定の攻撃でないとダメなんでしょ？
Yeah, we need an attack that's at least rank A. Come on, don't miss your words like that. As she says this, Tosuka pulls several jewels from her pocket.
その宝石は私が物心ついた時からために貯めた貯金みたいなものよ。これ一つで A 判定の大魔術を即座に発生させられる。そうか。あの時の魔術ならば確かにバーサーカーは防げない。
Yeah, hopefully.
彼には私のような大魔力はありません。魔術であってもそれが A 判定ならば問題なく貫通する。そういうことよ。本当は小出ししていこうと思ったけど悠長なことは言ってられないわ。バーサーカーには特別に2つか3つは叩き込んでやるんだから。
Oh, I'm thinking you're gonna have to use your entire arsenal. Tosuka puffs out her chest confidently. However...
おい、なんか半端にせこくないか？
同感です。私が言えることではありませんが、せめて半
there we
分
go.
使い切るくらいの気前の良さが必要だと思うのですが。何よ、そんなの人の勝手でしょ？
I mean, better safe than sorry here, right?
私がどれほど苦労してここまで貯めたって思ってるのよ。
Goddamn. Saber and I protest silently. Tosaka's life depends on this operation too. We can't let ourselves fail just because she's being stingy.
わかったわよ。半分使えばいいんでしょ、使えば。何よ、言ってみただけじゃない。私だってそれくらいわかってるんだから。とにかく作戦はそれだけよ。
Well, sounds decent enough, but again, we don't want it to be too simple here. We really gotta get the drop on these guys.
あとは私が隠れられて、シローがセイバーの援護をしやすい場所を探さなくちゃ。イリアスフィールが来る前にいい場所を見つけましょう。
Yeah, we can't stay in these ruins anymore. And like Tosaka said, we need to find a place where we can all lie in wait for Berserker. But before that... Ah, shit. Who are we worried about here? Who do we want to be worried about? I don't think we should actually be worried about Tosaka in this situation because, well, she shouldn't be detected, and she's going to be hiding. So the ones on the front line, mainly Saber, and then behind her from a distance, Shirou. So I think we should probably be more worried about Saber. I think it makes sense for him to be worried about his servant. So, because you guys have told me, and I know I'm trying to get this in my head, I gotta make the choice that makes sense from Shirou's perspective. It may not make sense in general, but what would Shirou do? I think Shirou would be more worried about Saber. I wonder if Saber's really okay. She says she has no problems fighting, but wouldn't it be hard for her to go up against Berserker when she's so weak? Or I suppose I'm more concerned about her noble phantasm.
使えば、その瞬間に体を維持できなくなる。
Yeah, she did say that. Yep, exactly. That means Saber will disappear the instant she uses that attack.
Saber.
はい。何でしょうか、シロ。
ああ、戦う前に一つ約束してくれないか。
ええ、それが私にできることならば構いませんが。
そのさ、どんな状況になってもあの宝具は使わないでほしいんだ。
Oh shit, that may not be a good thing. I mean, she's not gonna survive if she does use it, but will she be able to survive not using it?
地上であんなものを使ったら大事だし、それに
I guess my question is she gonna die regardless
セイバー
here?
が死ぬなんていうのは嫌だ。
ええ、分かっています。私も宝具を使う気はありません。今の魔力でバーサーカーを倒せるとは限りませんし、何より消えてしまっては聖杯を手に入れられない。
Hell yeah, priorities. She's as direct as ever. It's a relief to hear.
よし、いつものセイバーだ。うんざりするほど冷静で安心した。
それはどういう意味でしょうか、シロ。
いや、大はないよ。いいから外に出よう。遠坂を待たせるとまた文句を言われるからな。
そうですね。リンはシロに文句を言うのが趣味のようですから。
Yeah. And with that kind of weird observation, Saber turns to leave the ruins. But then, she trips on a chunk of rubble and stumbles forward. I quickly grab her hand from behind.
ほら、足元危ないぞ。散らかってるんだから気をつけないと。
You okay there? Saber seems to be blushing.
セイバー、どうした？なんかあったのか？
いえ、そういうわけではないのですが。
Why has she gotten... It's crazy. I brought this up in the last episode, but she gets so flustered now. Like, this is not her. This is not normal. Saber's face turns a deep crimson. She must look like I did a few minutes ago. I find myself blushing too now. With her hand in mine, I suddenly remember the sensations I felt with Saber and quickly pull my hand back. The two of us stand rigidly, saying nothing.
外に出よう。早く行かないと時間がない。
そうですね。急ぎましょう、シロ。
We head out after that bit of awkwardness. Once we're outside, we'll never come back here. I look back towards the ruin for the last time, and then turn back to the battlefield. I mean, this place really shouldn't have too much to look back on. I mean, it is the place of which we were able to hide out for a night and transfer our shit over to Saber, but other than that, it was just more of a convenience. We reach a clearing in the forest. The sun is rising and a white layer of morning mist blankets the forest. Compared to the much denser forest around us, this is a good vantage point.
トサカ、ここ悪くないんじゃないのか。
そうね。条件はいくらかクリアしてるけど、見晴らしが良すぎるのがどうもね。これじゃあ私はともかくセイバーとシローの逃げ道がないもの。
Tosaka is such a perfectionist, even if she's even considering escape routes.
他は渡りましょう。大丈夫。まだ時間はあるわ。
How can you be so certain? Tosaka returns to the forest. But Saber stands motionless, staring off into the distance.
セイバー、何してるのよ。早くしないとイリアスフィールに。
Oh shit. A chill runs up my spine. I could never forget this feeling. I can't see him or feel his presence, but the sudden weight of the air pressing down around me is definitely coming from him. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ilya's voice echoes from somewhere in the forest. Beyond the mist. From deeper in the forest, a dark figure approaches. Maybe it's because we're in a clearing with an open view of the sky, but it feels like Ilya is peeking down at us from up in the clouds.
やば、あいつもうシロを見つけたの？まずい、ここじゃ視界が広すぎる。何よこのスピード、これじゃあ2分かからない。ちょっと何のんびりしてるのよ2人とも。ここじゃまずいって言ってるでしょ。早く場所を変えないと。
Tosaka grabs our hands, but it's too late.
いや、ここでいい、トサカ。3人で戦えるだけでも良好なんだ。これ以上は求められない。
バカ、それがまずいんだってば。ここじゃ横幅がありすぎるの。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを止められないし、いくら離れてたってあんたも前に入っちゃうじゃない。
トサカが心配してくれてるのは分かってるけど、危険なのはみんな一緒だ。
それはそうだけど。
セイバーもいいな。ここでバーサーカーを迎え撃つ。
Saber nods quietly. I think we'll be okay here.
分かったわよ。簡単にやられたら怒るからね。
We'll be okay. Tosaka, apparently convinced, disappears into the mist. Once she goes into action, she acts quickly. She darts into the forest and then scrambles up a tree.
来るぞセイバー、準備はいいか。
あなたも。戦いが始まったら決してここから前には出ないように。何があろうとバーサーカーをここには近づけさせません。
I'm really hoping that the choice that we had to make earlier was more so for, I guess, how Saber's going to approach the fight. There's now no question in her mind whether she should consider using her noble phantasm. That should be completely out of the question now that we talked to her about it. But if that was actually for brownie points, then, I mean, I guess we'll take it, but I think this is more of a serious situation. Hopefully things can work out here, and I'm curious to see how they will work out. The mist wavers. Hello, gamers. Out of the morning fog, a dark shadow spreads across the clearing. A mad warrior led by a pale girl steps into view.
意外ね。てっきり最後まで逃げ回るとばかり思ってたのに。それとももう観念したの？お兄ちゃん。
Oh, come on. There's only one true way to get out of this. We gotta fight. Ilya's about 40 meters from me. We face each other from opposite ends of the clearing.
セイバーは治ったんだ。そっか。だから逃げ回るのはやめにしたのね。欲しいな。そんなことで私に勝てると思うのは可愛いんだけど。残念ね。シロはここで死ぬんだもの。
Yeah, we'll see about that. Her giggles echo in the forest. Apparently that ticks her off. Saber, still standing beside me, is practically vibrating with animosity. She might launch herself toward or forward at any moment.
もうつまんないな。ずいぶん無口になっちゃったのね。もしかして殺されるのは怖いの？そんなのもったいないよ。今命乞いをすれば私も許してあげないこともないんだから。
Yeah, we're not getting spared. And if we did, it's not going to be in a, peaceful way. It's not like she's going to be letting us run away or whatever. No, Saber's going to die. Reen will probably be next, even so her attention is not on her, which is working out to our plan. And I guess our soul gets thrown into like a doll or whatever her plan is. Tosuka's probably in position. She'll probably want to be as close to the center of the clearing as she can. There's a spot where the tree branches overlap, and it should be sturdy enough to support her weight.
そう。あくまでそういう態度なんだ。なら、もうおしゃべりはここまでだね。リンともども殺してあげ。待ちなさい。リンはどうしたの？シロ。
Yeah, at least she's now noticed. I have to give it to Berserker's master. She knows better than to overlook any details.
遠坂はここにはいない。あいつと俺たちは塔に別れた。
別行動を取ったの？そっか。セイバーを連れてるシロは足手まといだものね。リン一人ならもっと遠くに逃げられる。
I was more so thinking that because she doesn't have a servant anymore, she was really out of this fight, but alright, whatever.
そういうことだ。もうとっくに森を出てるだろう。今から追っても間に合わないぞ。
そうかしら。この森はアインツベルンの結界よ。誰が入ってきて誰が出ていったかぐらいはわかるんだから。あれから外に出た人間は一人もいない。リンはまだ森にいるわ。探し出すのはこの後でも十分よ。
And that's a relief. If Ilya only detects who's going in and out of the forest, then she doesn't know where Tosuka is now. That, and she believed my story pretty easily. Ilya is a truly merciless master. But is she too merciless to have a chance to start over?
イリア、戦う前にもう一度だけ聞くぞ。マスターを辞めて、こんな戦いをやめることはできないのか？
I think the answer is no, buddy.
できないよ。おじいさまの言いつけだもの。バーサーカーがいる限り、私はアインツベルンのマスターなの。イリアは他のマスターたちを殺して、聖杯を持ち帰らなくちゃいけないんだから。それに、もう一度だけ聞くのはこっちだよ。
Oh, yeah?
私はアインツベルンの当主だから、あんな言葉、二度は言わないわ。けど、シローが答え直すって言うんなら、ちゃんと聞いてあげてもいいんだよ。
I don't really think much is changing on our end. She sounds almost hopeful, but as long as I have Saber with me, I can't agree to what she's asking.
答えは変わらない。俺はセイバーのマスターだ。お前がマスターを辞めないって言うんなら、バーサーカーを倒して辞めさせる。
I look at both Ilya and Berserker and say that. In that instant, the air in the clearing tenses with a sharp snapping sound.
そう。なら、本気で殺してあげる。
Oh boy.
その思い上がりと一緒に、粉々に砕いてあげるわ、シロー。
Oh shit, what the fuck? What the heck is that? There's some sort of inscription appearing on Ilya's face. No, it's not just her face. It's a huge command spell covering her entire body. And I can even see it at this distance. It's so much more massive than the ones we have.
遊びは終わりよ。蹴散らしなさい、ヘラクレス。
Ilya's voice is completely lifeless. And in response, the giant behind her howls. Yeah, I understand that entirely. His roar shakes the earth. He screams and thrashes like he's lost his mind. His abilities grow even more powerful, like his body is swelling with deformed masses.
そんな、理性を奪っていただけで凶暴化させていなかったというのか。
I'm not surprised Saber is shuddering. Even I, who can't gauge the warrior's strength, can tell I shouldn't be getting anywhere near that monster.
行け。近寄る者はみんな殺しちゃえ。バーサーカー。
Oh, it's game time. Hey, I understand his punctuation there. Look, he used exclamation marks. The air explodes. The giant bellows a roar so different from its anguished wail and leaps. Alright, it is battle time, and we're going to save that for the next episode. This next episode, gamers, that will be one to watch. I'm certain of it. I'm going to continue to save in like different save slots because I really can't trust my setup whatsoever. But yeah, thank you guys for coming around and watching yet another episode. You probably can hear it here and there, but like there'll probably be like little auditory glitches or even visual ones here and there. This game is not meant to run on Linux, but the fact that it is really cool. But thank you guys for continuing to stick around, watch this Let's Play. I'm excited to be able to continue it because this story is so interesting. And I guess it's such a surprise to a lot of you that I've never gone through any bit of Fate. So I'm happy that I can keep you guys along for the ride and you guys can, you know, see what I think about all this and just have a good time. All right, let's see if Shirou and Saber can escape death in the next episode against Berserker. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. If you guys are looking for end screen cards, I'm not putting them up because I actually don't have a graphic for them right now. And I also can't really say thanks to those that meet the required tiers on Patreon and my YouTube memberships so they could be credited here on the side. I don't have any of that right now. But again, everything is temporary. I should be getting back to the norm here soon. So, I guess just keep that in mind. Sorry. Sorry that I can't, you know, thank those that, or credit those that are supporting that way, but we'll get there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.